impact of the attacks in Gaza isn't just physical, it's mental as well. And joining us now from Gaza City via broadband is Dr. Ayad El-Sarraj of the Gaza Community Mental Health Program. And thanks for joining us. First, I just want to get your personal account of what's been going on. Have you been hearing artillery fire, bombs going off? What have you been encountering?
Well, it's been a very difficult time in my life. I'm almost 65 and I've been through so much, but this was the worst. I've been through a lot of violence and bombing by the Israelis, but this is the worst. I've been confined to my home now for the last 9 days. My international American school was flattened today, which is the best school in Gaza and the best school in Palestine, in fact. My headquarters for the Gaza Community Mental Health Program was hit, and all the windows are shattered and all the doors are dislocated. What Israel is doing is brutal force, and I think that it's the wrong strategy completely, and this has been going for a long time. It is very sad that for our children and the children of Israel that they have to grow up in such a violent environment that is feeding hatred and putting seeds of hatred on both sides. I am very much against the violence, but it is not the question of rockets and retaliation by the Israelis. This is the small picture. The big picture is Palestinians in Gaza are refugees from Palestine since 1948. 70% of the people of Gaza are refugees. They live on ration food from the United Nations for the last 60 years or so. And they need the rights. They have rights. Israel is saying that Hamas is living outside the international community that respects human rights. Well, the same applies to Israel, who violates 42 Security Council resolutions.
Dr. El-Sarraj, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I wanted to hear more your perspective as a mental health professional. And you're not only a mental health professional, you're also a father. And during this time, as Gaza's been turned into a war zone, how do you explain to children what's happening? Okay. Children are terrified. And let me tell you about my son is telling me why Israelis are bombing us. And I say, because we have a conflict. And he said, why don't we have air defense, somebody to defend us? And I said, because we don't have a state. And he said, why don't we join a big state like America? I said, well, Israel has already joined America. He said, why don't we join China? So somebody can protect us. Children are terrified, are bedwetting, clinging to their mothers and fathers. They feel terrified, and much more than that. They are losing the father that can protect them. And as much they have lost the father that can provide them because of the Israeli siege and the economic devastation of Gaza. So the children who have lost the father, a fundamental loss of security. Now, the ground operation just started, and when the rockets eventually stop flying, and when Israeli troops do leave Gaza, the mental scars, the damage is still there, right? Yes, absolutely, and it will go for years. You see, children who experience such a trauma in their life today can never forget. I hope that they will forgive. I hope that they can be treated and they can live somehow normally, but they can never forget. This is a scar. If they see somebody dead, like a child, an image, even on TV, it will leave a scar for them. But I'm talking about both sides. But in the Palestinian side, the carnage is enormous today, and it is affecting every home. Everyone feels so exposed in the whole Gaza Strip. Everyone feels so defenseless, so helpless, and this affects the children. They receive the pain and the panic from the eyes of their parents, and that will make them post-traumatic stress disorder. And now today, I assume, according to our work, over 50% of the people in Gaza are suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, and they need immediate
consultation, psychotherapy, any form of support that they need now and urgent. In the long run, this is very serious because the children who have lost the father image will look for a replacement, and the replacement is the extreme militia groups like Hamas and Islamic Jihad. So Israel at the end is doing exactly the opposite. Instead of securing Israel by peace, it is encouraging more Palestinians to be more militant and more extreme.
Okay, Dr. Ayad El-Sarraj, thank you very much for joining us on the program. I should also add that Dr. El-Sarraj was joining us live via broadband connection from Gaza City within the Gaza Strip, saying there that he believes 50% of the people there in Gaza suffer from post-traumatic stress.